phenyl, okay, and then propane, right? Then comes the toluene derivative. Actually, what is the difference between benzene and toluene? It is benzene, okay, and it is toluene, right? It is toluene. So if something gets attached here, after removing one hydrogen, something gets attached here. So the group first of all is called benzyl. The prefix here is a list of functional groups, and I also recommend you that you draw a table just like this, in which the essential components should be chemical class, group, formula, prefix and suffix. These are ultra important for you and you must learn it, okay? So the very first is alkane. Alkane, you know that it will contain single groups, single bonds, okay, sigma bond you can say. So it will be just like this. So it is alkane, and the prefix word used is alkyl. You know prefix is something that comes at the end, right? And suffix is the thing which comes in the starting, okay? So the word prefix you can learn from the mnemonic, that is pre. Pre means coming first. So it comes at the starting, okay, and suffix comes in the ending. First is alkane, then alkene, then alkyne, and we will be reading all these three in our hydrocarbons, right? Alkene contains one double bond and alkyne contains one triple bond, one or more triple bonds basically. So it is alkyne, and the prefixes are alkynyl and alkenyl, and here the suffix for alkene is ene and alkyne is yne. Examples are also given here. This is ethane, which I just told you here, that is CH3, and it is ethene and it is ethyne, right? Now let's move to the next. Now it comes phenyl, that is benzene derivative, and what is the thing here is this, something will be written, okay. This is actually the structural formula. Here the benzene ring is there and something has been attached to this. So if you get a structure like this, in the prefix you will reuse phenyl, just like in this. This is actually a very important structure, cumene, and you must learn the name along with the structure. Here it comes in the beginning, that is 2-phenyl, okay, and then propane, right? Then comes the toluene derivative. Actually, what is the difference between benzene and toluene? It is benzene, okay, and it is toluene, right? It is toluene. So if something gets attached here, after removing one hydrogen, something gets attached here. So the group first of all is called benzyl. The prefix here will be used benzyl, and the suffix will be used as one substituent toluene, okay. Now comes the haloalkane, or you can say alkyl halide, which we were discussing when we were discussing about the degree of alkyl halide, okay. So the group is called halo. The formula is Rx. R here can be anything. It can be CH3X, X can be fluorine, bromine, iodine, whatever. Okay. So the prefix used here is halo and the suffix used is alkyl halide. Next comes the alcohol. Alcohol, hydroxy and ol will be used if anything to a carbon chain. If in a carbon chain OH gets attached, it is alcohol. In the chain of carbon, in between, if double bond O gets attached, it is ketone. These are the names of suffixes and prefixes which you must learn. Here comes the aldehyde. Here also double bond O will come, but at the end. Here it was in the middle. Here in aldehyde it is at the end. Okay. Now comes the acyl halide. Here the carbon chain is there, and at the end double bond O and X is used. X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, and here the prefixes are also given, suffix is also given. Next comes the carbonate, then carboxylate, then carboxylic acid, then ester. Okay, so here there are a lot of functional groups which you must learn, but I am highlighting the very important ones. The very important ones means everything is important, no matter it is competitive examination. But the must learn types of functional groups I am highlighting here. This PDF you will get. Alkane, alkene and alkyne are very important. Okay. Then benzene derivative is very important. Toluene derivative is important. Haloalkane, alcohol, ketone, aldehyde, acyl halide. Ultra important. Carbonate, carboxylate, carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is the king of functional groups. Okay. Ester is ultra important. Then ether. Hydroperoxide is also important and especially important for JEE students. Hemiacetal and hemiketal, these two are ultra important again for JEE students. Acetal is important. Orthoester is important, you must learn, but it is not as much important. Heterocycle is there. Amide is ultra important. Cyanates are important. Isocyanates are important. Nitrate, nitrile, isonitrile important. Nitro compounds, nitroso compounds, thiol, sulfide, disulfide, these are important groups. You cannot afford to forget them. Thiocyanate, isothiocyanate, these are important functional groups which you must learn, right? Now up to here, that was a bookish table, right? For you to understand and to learn, I am going to give you some short forms for some of the functional groups, right? So you must write with me. First of all is carboxylic acid. So it is C double bond OH. This is carboxylic acid. Likewise, you will be introduced to sulfonic acid. That is SO3H in the short, and if I draw it in the structure, it will be drawn just like this. Next is acid anhydride. The prefixes and suffixes are cramming things which you will learn from the table. Acid anhydride is C double bond O. In the middle, oxygen will come, then C double bond O, then a bond, right? Then comes ester. Ester is C double bond O, and here something will be attached. Then comes acid halide. Acid halide is C double bond O. A halide will be added here. Then comes acid amide. As the word is telling you, amide means NH2, right? So acid, that is C double bond O, amide, that is NH2. Now comes the cyanide. Cyanide is C triple bond N. And if I talk about isocyanide, so it will be N triple bond C, right? Then comes our aldehyde. Aldehyde is really very easy, C double bond OH. Then comes the ketone. Ketone is C double bond O. Then comes alcohol. Alcohol is just OH. Then comes thiol, that is SH. Then comes amines. We have already discussed about primary amine, secondary amine and tertiary amine. I think I need not to repeat that lecture here. It is amines. Then comes our alkene. This is our alkyne. This is our phenyl. This is our benzyl. Okay. This is very important because most of the students make a mistake. They think that this is benzene and it is attached, so it will be benzyl. But no, it will be what? It will be phenyl. When toluene will come and something will be attached here, then it will be called as benzyl. So this is the point to be noted. Then comes NO2, that is nitro. Then comes NO, that is nitroso. Then comes our S, that is thioether. The point to note here is this is thioether, right? And which we have earlier read, that is SH, so it is actually thiol. Okay, as OH is alcohol and O is ether. So these are just differentiating points, right? Next comes our X, that is halide. X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, then comes imine, that is CH double bond NH. It is amine. Then comes amide. Amide will be something related to C double bond O, as you know that whether it is acid, halide, acid anhydride. So what comes? C double bond O. So here C double bond O will be, and you will copy NH from here and then C double bond O. Then comes your enol. Then comes your enol. Enol is what? It is the combination of in and ol. Means in from alkene and ol from alcohol, right? So your enol will be CH double bond CHOH. Similarly, if I talk about in amine, it will be in plus amine.
In crowded classes, these gaps go unnoticed. With one-to-one mentoring, chemistry becomes logical, and real improvement begins.